Hi everyone, my name is Tangsho Khavile. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking the play button. Today is the part 6 of Abraham's blessings, and today we are just looking at the challenges that the family faced. Yes, we learned about Abraham's blessings, we learned about his character, we learned that when God blesses you, he blesses you, your children and your grandchildren. But the thing is that even though Abraham was blessed and his family and his descendants, they had challenges. And I just want to look at a particular challenge that they all went through, that Abraham went through, Isaac's family went through, Jacob's family went through, and how they dealt with the challenge or the issue. Because sometimes it doesn't mean when you are blessed by God you won't have challenges. So I think this series will help us to understand that yes, God might bless you, but there are things that you also need to deal with. There are things that you also need to overcome. I remember years ago, as a teenager, my aunt, my father's sister, told me that in this family there is this issue. And years ago, I gave my life to Jesus Christ. And at some point in my life, I remembered the issue that I was told that this is the issue in my family. And I remember praying and asking God to remove the issue in my life. Praying that that issue that I was told about, it may never ever come to me. It may never ever affect me. And God later confirmed that, you're good. And I know that God removed my name from the issue, and he also removed my descendants. I know and I believe that it ended with me. The issue ended with me. My children will never struggle with the issue that I was told as a teenager, that this is the issue of the family. My grandchildren will never struggle with that issue. It ended with me. And I want us to look at the issue that Abraham's family had. So Abraham's family had an issue of barrenness. They had an issue of barrenness. Sarah, the wife of Abraham, was barren. You can look at that in Genesis chapter 11 verse 13. Rebecca, the wife of Isaac, was barren. And remember that Isaac is the son of Abraham. So Isaac's wife was barren. You can look for that in Genesis chapter 25 verse 21. Rachel, the wife of Jacob. Jacob, it's Abraham's grandson. Jacob's wife Rachel was also barren. You can also check that in Genesis chapter 29 verse 31. So there was this issue in Abraham's family of barrenness. His wife was barren, daughter-in-law was barren, and even Jacob's wife Rachel was barren. So it was an issue that they all had to overcome. And I just want to start by reading on how Abraham overcame this issue that he was faced with. So Genesis chapter 15 verse 1 to 6, it will teach us how Abraham overcame the issue. Let me read it. After this, the word of the Lord came to Abraham in a vision. Do not be afraid, Abraham. I am your shield, your very great reward. Verse 2, But Abraham said, Sovereign Lord, what can you give me, since I remain childless, and the one who will inherit my estate is Eliezer of Damascus. Verse 3, And Abraham said, You have given me no children, so a servant in my household will be my heir. Then the word of the Lord came to him. This man will not be your heir, but a son who is your own flesh and the blood will be your heir. Verse 5, he took him outside and said, look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them. Then he said to him, so shall your offspring be. Abraham believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. So how Abraham overcame the issue? He had a conversation with the Lord. He prayed, and God was like, no, you will have children. You will have an heir. Your servant will never be an heir. So Abraham had a conversation with the Lord. He prayed with the Lord about an issue, and God gave him a promise that I will give you a child. So how did Abraham overcome the issue? He prayed and he believed. As soon as God told him that, you know what, I will take care of that, he believed. So Abraham overcame the issue by praying and believing. Yeah, so the second point, I want to look at how Isaac and Rebekah overcame the issue of barrenness. We see this in Genesis chapter 25, verse 21 NIV. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was childless. The Lord answered his prayer, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. Yeah, so Isaac did what his father did. He prayed on behalf of his wife. He prayed for Rebekah to have a child. Yeah, so that's how Isaac overcame the issue. He prayed and the Lord answered his prayer. Point number 3, let's look at how Jacob and Rachel overcame this issue of barrenness. We see this in Genesis 30, verses 22 to 23 NIV. Then God remembered Rachel. He listened to her and enabled her to conceive. Verse 23, she became pregnant and gave birth to a son and said, God has taken away my disgrace. Yeah. So how did Rachel and Jacob overcome the issue? The Lord remembered and listened to Rachel. Yeah, the Lord remembered and listened to Rachel's prayer, Rachel's concern. Yeah, so the family had an issue, and they all prayed for the Lord to remove the issue. And you know, the person watching this video, you know the issue. You know the issue in your family. You know the issue that everyone is talking about in your family. The issue might be, or sometimes people, your family is not talking about it, but you can see it. Yeah, the issue might be barrenness. The issue might be sickness. The issue might be, I remember this other lady, she was sick and she was telling me that, you know, I'm sick and this is the issue, and my mother had the same issue. My mother had the same issue. Yeah, so the issue might be barrenness, it might be sickness, premature death. Yeah, poverty might be an issue, family issue, worshipping of idols and other gods might be family issues. And this is a very, all of them are big. And I know that this one is mostly common in South Africa, this issue of, you know, families merging or trying to combine two kingdoms. Those things can affect you if you are from a family whereby they worship Jesus and there is also ancestral worship. Those things can affect you. They can really affect you. And it is very important for you to pray. If you notice the issue in your family, it is very important for you to pray and say, Lord, remove me from the issue. Lord, remove my children from the issues. Lord, remove my grandchildren from this issue. It ends with me. It ends with me. I'm the last person to go through this. My children will not go through this. My grandchildren will not go through this. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you again next time. Goodbye and God bless you.